Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Big Brother 22 Roundtable podcast. This is the podcast where we break down everything from the feeds and we rate the players based on how well they're doing in the game. I'm your host, Aaron Armstrong, and with me today is Brent. How you doing, Brent?
I am doing fabulous. In fact, I would like to start the podcast by giving Melissa Denny a 10 for her amazing nose, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say I love her nose. It's amazing. No shade here.
I'm very glad Brent has seen the error of his ways in that ski slope noses are fine, but large noses that have very prominent profiles are the way to go.
That's the way it is.
If you didn't see last night's podcast, then you're probably very confused. But there was definitely some comments made about, what is a good nose and what is a bad nose. And I just have to say that they were very wrong last night. And I'm glad that they've seen the error of their ways. Mainly Brent.
Yes, I would like to take no credit at all for any nose comments. In fact, I said that you can have whatever nose you want. Just tell me it looks good and I'll believe you.
Taryn did say that. He is not lying about that one.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'll believe whatever you say.
I love it. Like Melissa's like, they said that. She's like, mainly Brent. And like, I feel like that comment's pretty apt no matter what.
That's my life.
They said that. Mainly Brent.
Taryn's like, I had nothing to do with it.
I was looking at my notes while he said it, and now all of a sudden I said it. Okay.
Right.
So of course,
well, everyone gets lumped in there.
Yes. Of course. Also here,
all four of you last night said it.
We have Melissa. How you doing, Melissa?
Well, I'm great now. I've got, Brent apologizing to me, and that's very important to me. And, I feel now much better about my own nose now that we've shared our insecurities. And I'm excited to talk about Big Brother.
I think we all have fantastic noses, personally.
Personally, yeah.
Yeah.
If we do say so ourselves.
I mean, we're going to tell people that at least.
Yeah, and if we tell Taryn that we have good noses, he'll believe it. So that's fine.
Incredibly true. All right, well.
And this is what we're talking about now for like the entire 2 hours. That's fine.
That's what we have. That's what we have.
That's what we have.
We're going to talk about this week in Big Brother 22. It's been, look, it's just another week. The things are happening.
What's that?
We're still kind of just waiting for things to go the way that they're going to go. Melissa's dog is waiting. I mean, honestly, like, look, it can be on. Like, I'm fine with the show being on. Like, it's like, hey, every few days I get another comp outcome to go, oh, look at that. Cody's still winning.
Yep. Just same old. Second verse, same as first. Cody's going to win the season. How do we like that?
Man, the dog has a lot to say about that.
So listen, I said this. I was actually talking to someone on the phone. I can't remember if it was you, Taryn. I was talking to a few people last night on the phone after my show, and I said, y'all, this boredom that we're feeling right now, this is the invoice for the triple eviction, bitches. Because if they didn't have the triple eviction, then this season would end the way every other season before Big Brother has ended before, where Final 5 to Final 4 to Final 3 happens in like 2 days. Like they wake them up on Tuesday, surprise them, have a surprise eviction at the Final 5. Then they have the HOH competition that night on Tuesday. Then they have the veto that Wednesday. Then they had the eviction on Thursday. That normally all takes place in 2 freaking days. But this year, because the triple eviction, we're doing it in 2 weeks. And it's not very scintillating.
It's not. And I mean, I said it before the triple eviction. I said it after, and I'm still going to say it. We took the most exciting week, the Danny being betrayed week, and we yada-yada'd it. And we just said, all right, now let's get the tasty weeks of Cody winning everything.
They should have just kept it at a double eviction there. Maybe did another double eviction like closer to now. Or just had one double eviction, and then at least we'd get to see the Danny week. I mean, I get that they probably were assuming, which I also think we were kind of assuming, that there'd be more fun to be had down the stretch because that's when people would turn on each other. Well, it turns out nobody's going to turn on each other and Cody's just going to win everything. But we didn't know that at the time, because I do remember us all saying like, hey, you know, like once we get the people on the outs of this big alliance out, then at least we'll have some fun when people turn on each other. And instead they just get picked up.
You said that. I remember you said that.
I will admit it.
You were like, can we just fast forward? Like, can we get all these people out? But we know the boot order. Let's just get to the end where we know the people are going to play. And then they didn't play. It's like, how did that happen?
Exactly.
Right.
It's honestly, it's like, I'm honestly surprised that this is the way it's kind of gone down, just because like it did seem like, okay, well, these people in the committee, like, you know, while it's annoying that they're all kind of picking everybody else off, at least they're really like good competitors. So like once it gets down to them, we at least will see some fun. And instead it's just like been such a letdown. And I mean, it's basically, I mean, the whole game has basically just been, okay, pick off one person at a time, which, okay, to be fair, yes, that is the game. And I get that that is the game, to pick off one person at a time. But it's like, it shouldn't be that obvious at the start of the week, whoever wins HOH, exactly what's going to happen. And like, we should be able to be surprised once in a while.
We should have had a week where Danny was on the block next to Nicole, and she slowly realized that Cody's not voting for her, that she's going to be voted out, and she starts spilling all the secrets. Hey, guess what? I'm in an alliance called the Core Four with Cody, Enzo, and Nicole. If you vote me out, then it's going to be those three against the rest of you. And at the even if it doesn't work, even if Danny still goes home, which she still probably does, at least now Tyler and Memphis and Christmas are like, maybe we really should work together. And they still probably lose those competitions, but at least there's something there. At least that that information is out, and they have this sort of fighting sort of spirit.
Taryn, I hear you on that. But remember, we had the freaking wall yeller come by at the first of the season and said, Cody and Nicole have a final two together, and everyone knew about it. And look what's going to happen. It's probably going to be Cody and Nicole in the final two. And they're like, it gratifies me so much that these people are going to look like such fucking idiots, that they are literally going to come out of the sequestered jury house, and they're going to be confronted with interviewers such as yourselves, and you're going to say to them, hopefully, how could you let this happen? The wall yeller told you. And what did you do?
It is frustrating because I don't really understand it too, because I feel like I remember when the wall yeller first happened and we were all like, oh my God, like what are they going to do with this information? This is crazy, with the first wall yeller. And I remember I don't know who said it, I forgot at this point, but a past Big Brother player and a few others were saying like, wall yellers never make a difference. Nobody ever pays attention to them. Like, this really doesn't matter. And we were all like, but wait, why though? That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't people pay attention to it? And I figured like, they're just saying that to keep people from wall yelling, but it's true. I mean, that nothing has come of it.
Nothing happened.
They didn't even care about it. Like, I thought, okay, they're not talking about it because they're like, just trying to appease production and make it so that like, you know, they don't get, you know, fishes or whatever, but like they didn't even do anything about it in secret or like on their own. Like nobody was targeting the two of them, and nobody even trusted that was even a thing.
Yeah,
right?
that former player sounds really smart, in my opinion.
Taryn, I have a question. So if a wall yeller yells in the woods and no players around to hear it, did it really happen?
If all players are around to hear it, does it still really? Basically, guess what? It turns out playing Big Brother is harder than just yelling over a wall, and you can't just dismantle somebody's position by screaming things at people. If you yell information into the backyard about the people in power, more than likely what you're doing is giving it's like there's a whole house full of adults with like, you know, adult weapons, and then you're like,
where are you going with this, Taryn?
Hey children, have some toy weapons and go and fight these adults. It's like you're giving them nothing real to go off of, and they're just gonna get themselves voted out, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I suppose, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, that's the most fun I've had this season. Davon winning the veto and the wall yeller creed and all the drama. That's the most fun. Honestly, guys,
but they didn't create any drama. That's the thing.
I know. Well, I created drama on the outside a little bit, like with us kvetching about it, for heaven's sake. But for real, I have to ask you, like, do you two, are you two with me on this? In that, is this actually? I'm gonna ask Melissa because I don't trust Taryn. Melissa, is this the most boring season of Big Brother? And before you answer. I thought about some of the more boring seasons of Big Brother, right? But at least those seasons had something. Like, 19 was fucking boring, but it had some fights in it, and people got mad at each other, and that was fun to watch. 16, pretty boring, but they had entertaining people on it, and there were fights on that as well. Is this not the worst season of Big Brother ever, entertainment-wise?
I mean, I would say that, like, yes, I do think it's the most boring season. Yes, but the caveat for me is that, like, I'd prefer this season than 19 just because, like, my heart was hurting during 19 and I just felt so terrible the whole time. This, at least, like, I feel like I'd prefer to feel bored than sad and awful the whole time. Like, I just feel like I at least the people here, like, I don't hate them. And I feel like that's a huge, like, that's a good thing for me. Whereas, like, in 19, like, I was so upset the whole time. Like, I just didn't even want to watch because it was so painful. At this point, it's like the episodes, sure, the episodes are boring and maybe they, like, throw in, like, a sneezing segment or something. But it's like, it's way better for me than watching people just, like, tear other people down and make them feel totally awful about themselves every time they're, like, about to go home. It just, like, that just wasn't for me. But, like, in terms of Big Brother 16, like, I loved Big Brother 16. I know I was infuriated, like, half the time because I was like, are you serious? Like, how is nobody rising up against Derek? I was so mad. But at the same time, like, you had Zach Rance, you had, like, fun characters, you had people to root for. Like, even though Derek was running the house the whole time, I do feel like once any sort of opposition went out, like, I was rooting for him because I did feel like he was really good. So, like, I don't know if I feel that same way about Cody. I think obviously in this situation, he's playing the best game of the house, but it's like, do I feel like he's, like, on a level with Derek or anything like that? Or do I feel like it's the people who are playing with him who, like, I don't know. It's hard for me because it brings in elements of, like, the pre-gaming thing. Like, I don't know what happened pre-game. And so, like, for me, it kind of adds this element of, like, mystery to the whole thing where it's like, I don't know how much pre-gaming happened. So I don't know how much credit to give his game. And that's where, like, I kind of, like, am confused on Cody.
Well, I mean, let's assume that there was tons of pre-gaming. Does that take away credit from his game? Considering all All-Star seasons of all Survivor and Big Brother seasons have all had tons of pre-gaming?
Yeah, but no. I'm not saying, like, it takes away, like, in terms of, like, oh, Big Brother 7 was way, I mean, like, yes, Big Brother 7 was way better. But I mean, like, I'm not saying that I think that his win is less than, like, Mike Boogie's win if they pre-gamed in Big Brother 7. But, like, I do think it's less than, like, Dan's win or, like, Derek's win. So, like, yeah, it does. I'm just thinking, like, in terms of him on the winners ranking list, if he wins this one, even though he played really well and he basically won since, like, the first episode. I don't think I can, like, put him up there with Dan and Derek or Dr. Will even. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm a little bit, I don't really know where to rate him.
It's a different game. An All-Star season really is a different game. It's all kinds of, so an all new player season is its own kind of game. A, like, 4 returning players and a bunch of new players, or 6 returning players and a bunch of new players, that's its own kind of game. 1 returning player with a bunch of new players, that's its own kind of game. And then an all-star season is its own kind of game. And they all require different skill sets. Like, the game itself, that what we're seeing and what we're seeing Cody do, we saw him do very similar things in 16. That all applies. That's all similar. But when it comes to the structure of like how things were set up and the people that are around you, like pre-gaming is a part of all-star seasons, and people that are good at pre-gaming are good at all-star seasons, and that's something to take into account, not only with Big Brother but with Survivor and all of those shows as well. I have always held the first season somebody plays as the gold standard in terms of like how good are you at a show, because most people will only get to play once. Most people don't have another chance, so you'd better get it right the first time. Second, I feel like it's the best test of raw skill that we can give you, because or at least I don't even want to say that. I think it's the best test of what we look for in shows. Like, we don't want to see a friend group go on Big Brother and be like, hey guys, we're friends, let's just run through this. We want to see people who have to figure things out on the fly. And when you have relationships coming in, it's a completely different game. And it's not one that I think the audience likes as much. I think the reason that the original All-Stars worked so much is because it was so lopsided to start with. And then those, like, the people that it was lopsided for were like not the best at the game, and so it really, like, it all got shifted around, and it was two people that were the best at pre-gaming, and those two people were so entertaining and so enthusiastic about what they were doing that it was very fun to watch. Although I would say, like, I bet if you took the All-Star season 7 All-Star cast, you wait 14, 15 years. I think we're probably looking. I think most people are like, Dr. Will is so boring. I can't believe he's just running this game. I can't believe this is happening again. Why does Janelle keep winning? This is
but at least they would have
thing.
Like personalities.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like...
I don't think those people have the same personalities now as they did then. I think the culture is different, and I think these people act differently. We even saw, like, we got Janelle, but we didn't get bye bye bitches Janelle. We got Kaser, and I love Kaser, and I actually love this version of Kaser. It's a more like mature version of Kaser, but it was not I sealed your partner's fate Kaser.
But I feel like it would have been if he had the chance. Like, I feel like if Janelle or Kaser got power at all, we might see a different side of them. I feel like I was not deterred from Janelle or Kaser, like, at all, based on their quote unquote new personalities. Like, I loved it. I thought they were very entertaining to watch. I don't need like the yelling or the fighting. Like, for me, I know Brent like loves that stuff, but like for me, it's not about the yelling or the fighting. It's about like the strategizing and the passion. And like, I loved when Kaser would be like, if I get like HOH, like this person's going and look, we need to rise up and da-da-da. That's what I like. And we certainly got that.
But like, what was he met with? He was met with, why are you so weird, dude? Calm down.
But that's because the other people in the cast.
Janelle said that to him.
But that's because like they have that sort of like friendship where they just kind of like
Janelle
joke
used
with
to
each
be
other.
like, let's go. But now you know what I mean? Like, Kaser I think is a little special.
I can't judge it because I think that if they got power, we'd see a different version of Janelle. Like, I feel like Janelle was purposely trying to like lay low and not like get in the fray until like she got power, and then she didn't.
I fully agree. Like I said, I think Kaser. I do think we saw a different version of Janelle, and I think we saw a different version of Janelle in 14 as well. But I do think that Kaser and Janelle are like two of the best characters of all time, and so like the fact that they are able to retain some of their like entertainingness after 15 years is great. But were there
any other characters in the cast though? But like that's the problem with I saw is that there like aren't any other. I mean, like Davon, and we got Davon, but like everybody else, like, I mean, where are the characters? Like, where are the gamers? Where are, like, I just feel like we didn't get any of that. It was like a bunch of people who like were runners up or like the second in an alliance.
At the start of this season, we all agreed. This is a great cast. This is way better than we expected.
Better than we expected is not a great cast.
But we did not
me,
say.
I did not think it was a great cast.
Okay. Let's roll the tapes back.
I did not. roll the tapes back because I was not happy with the cast. I said, okay, David Alexander's on the cast, and like I'm excited to see what he can do. Yeah, that's the one thing I was that and Janelle and Kaser, and I said, you know what? It's
Keisha,
not as
Kevin
bad
Campbell,
as it could have been.
Keisha.
I said it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yes.
But the fact that we're saying it's not as bad as it could have been, like that's not what we want. We want Dr. Will, we want Dan, we want Derek. I wanted like real gamers. I actually would have loved to see Frankie Grande back because I feel like he was a gamer. And like
okay,
also
well,
he's
I think
entertainment.
we're going off the rails
Oh,
to
come
Frankie
on.
Grande.
I'm just saying, look, I'm saying he was rumored, and I was actually looking forward to it. But like I want like Zach Rance. Like I swear.
All
like,
right. Well, look, a Zach Rance, Frankie Grande. We don't need another Zanky reunion.
I'm not saying
on
we
All
need
Stars.
a Zanky reunion, but we could have one, and it would be really fun for me. But anyway, off the Zanky train. All I know is that I feel like the cast was not something we were all super thrilled with. There were elements of it that were like, oh my God, that's a shocker, that's a surprise. But like for the most part, it was like, that's not an all-star cast. And I think we all were saying that. The one good thing I said was that I said, at least everybody on this cast, and this is going to make it interesting, everyone on this cast has something to prove. So like everybody on this cast did something wrong or something went wrong their first season, and now they're back and they want to like either change their reputation, or they want to like win and not get second place, or they want to like not make the same mistakes they made the first time. So I thought that was like an interesting concept, not because I thought that they were like amazing players or fun to watch or anything like that. I just thought like, they're not going to make the same mistakes that they made the first time. They're going to try and like fix that. And instead, they just did exactly what they did the first time, which made it like entirely boring and predictable. So like,
I mean,
that's
to be
why
fair, that's what happened
thrilled.
on All Stars too. The original All Stars. They
At
did
least
the
there
same
was fun
thing.
to be had there.
I'm just like, I remember living through, Big Brother 12. This is the worst season of all time. Easily the worst. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And then Big Brother 13. Oh, this is the worst season of all time.
And somehow it gets worse and worse and worse.
Big Brother 14, after Dan's funeral, and even before Dan's funeral, it was like during Dan's funeral, it was like, whoa! And there was like, back to worst season of all time. And then Big Brother 15, this is okay, guys, I get that we thought the other ones were the worst season of all time, but this is the worst season of all time. And then 16 happened.
Okay,
it just gets worse and worse and worse, and we're on a downward trajectory.
But did it get worse?
Taryn,
because we did our season rankings podcast, and it was not a curve like that.
Well, we're just psychos. That's the only explanation.
Taryn, you didn't answer the question because I posed it to Melissa. Do you think this is the most boring season of all time?
The most boring season of all time?
Entertainment-wise, yes. Entertainment-wise.
Well, it depends. What do you mean by entertainment?
I don't know. Whatever that means to you.
Well, I'm very entertained by gameplay. So to me, season 9 was more boring. But a lot of season 9 has its fans because it was so like ridiculous. And so you might call that entertaining. So it's, entertaining, I think, is a hard thing to grasp there. In terms of like, lack of power
holding your
shifts.
attention. Yeah.
I mean, holding my attention. This held my attention the whole season.
Taryn, you're so weird. Oh, God.
I know what I'm saying.
The people listening to this podcast it's clearly held their attention because they're still listening to what will be a 2-hour podcast.
They like us.
They like us.
Not the freaking show.
They're still watching. Look, some of them I'm sure are going to say I'm not watching the show anymore, but most of them are. Let's be real.
All right.
Because
the ratings are still fine. The ratings are still actually great.
Watching. You think I can stop watching Big Brother? No. It's just going to be in my life forever.
I like Big Brother Canada 4 after the fake double eviction. I was checked out of that season. Like I was literally forcing myself to go on the podcast for that season. That was a hard season for me to watch. I loved the first half of that season, but the second half was bad. Even like Big Brother 20 in the second half or the last third was like, all right, like let's get this over with. And I feel that way now too. I feel like let's get this over with. But I think that what often happens is that time heals all wounds. And that just as, you know, people were talking last season about how that was the worst season ever. And now people are like, I miss Big Brother 21. I swear I've seen that online.
I've seen that. I've seen that too.
That people are going to look back at the season. Right now, we're in the worst part of it. We're in this last stretch of like 3 to 4 weeks that we're not going to remember that much because it's all going to blend together. What we're going to remember is a month worth of Kaser, is Tyler trying to quit, which was ridiculous. We're going to remember David taking $10,000. We're going to remember Cody's one of the most dominant games ever played. And those things I think are going to stand out, and I think we're going to remember, and we're going to go, definitely not a great season. It was one of the worst seasons for sure, but I don't think we're going to go throw it in the fire. We never want to talk about it again. Like, I don't think we're there.
Okay, I will say, Kennedy in the chat said, hear me out, but Cody Calafiore was on the 2 most boring seasons of ever, and he got to the end of both of them. I'm just saying. It's him. It's Cody. He just, I saw somebody in the chat who was like, you know what? Cody's just a boring person. And I'm like, you know what? He's actually not. Like, when Cody doesn't get his way, he is absolutely petulant. He is ridiculous. He loves to get his way, as do most of us, but especially Cody. But he never was in a situation this season where he really never got his way. Even when Davon used the veto, there was like a backup plan to get rid of like Ian. There was never a time where Cody was just like, no, bitch, you're not getting your way this time. Sorry about it. And he would have been the most petulant, asshole-ish, like kind of like guy you just love to hate, and it would have been fabulous to watch, but we never got that this season, and I'm mad about it.
Yeah. And I've talked about this before too, but like that is why I like Big Brother. I really don't mind stretches of boringness in a season, even if it's the whole season, because look, Cody's probably not going to come back. We probably missed our shot with Cody. We're never going to see Cody sweating, probably. We're going to see him win, like, unanimously, and he's going to be like, yeah, I'm the best. And we're going to be like, damn it, maybe. And that's fine. But the next Cody that comes along is going to be Pauly again. And we're going to see Pauly be dethroned, and it's going to be great. Because that's what happens in Big Brother. There are ups and there are downs. It's just like life. And that's what makes it so good. It's not written. Sometimes it does suck, but that makes the highs even higher.
I try to think that. So like there was definitely highs like last season, and there were very few highs this season. Like when Nicole won HOH in the double eviction last year, that was definitely a high. When Cliff sort of weaseled in and got Christy to like not use the Diamond Power of Vita or whatever the hell she had like last season, like there were highs last season. And even like the whole Tommy versus Mickey and Holly thing, when Nicole and Cliff were deciding what to do, like I remember I was at the live know-it-alls for that one, and that was like, or not know-it-alls, but the live show for RHAP for that one, and that was like high drama television. We just haven't had that this season, so I guess that's what I'm missing.
Yeah, I would say like there were 2 moments this season when I was happy. And I would say that was number 1, when Kaser won the safety suite for him and Janelle. And number 2, when Davon won veto.
Yep.
And didn't use it. Or
Yep.
She used it. And
she used it. She used it on Kevin.
It.
Yeah.
And those are literally
were
like
the 2.
Those 2 things and Kevin winning the veto are the only times when anybody other than the committee won anything, as long as you count Enzo as part of the committee, which, let's be real, you should.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like that is the problem with the season, I think, and that is like that these competition outcomes are the way they are. I was on a Survivor podcast talking about how I often find myself rooting for the person that's playing the best game to lose immunity, because I don't want them to have won because they were immune, because that's boring. And I often find myself doing the exact same thing in Big Brother. I think most people do, that like, I want Cody to have to talk Christmas out of cutting him at the final 4. I want Cody to have to talk Christmas out of cutting him at the final 5. I want Cody to have to whatever. And the problem with some of that is that in the end game he hasn't had to. in the end game, he's just won these competitions, and it's just played out the way it's played out. Personally, I was still like enthralled with the game up until the point that Tyler lost it, because there was a lot of subtle machinations and maneuverings that were going on, that Cody was doing all of that work, convincing people to not cut him, convincing people to go over here, Enzo, you're over here, and all of that, and even through Danny's HOH after Tyler had lost it, that he was making sure that Ian was the one on the block, and really it was from that point forward that things just started really gaining momentum and rolling downhill for Cody. But up until that point, it was fun for me to watch him do that. And now it was like after that point, it was just like, now I'm just watching the ball roll. Right. And I'm waiting for like, is there going to be some kind of like obstacle that pops up to make it like to halt the momentum? And it was like, nope, it's just still rolling.
No, it's not.
But for me, like the season is not right now. The season is the whole thing, and I really did enjoy a lot of this season, especially at the start when I was seeing all these people. Like, I'm never gonna forget the moment of having waited 15 years to see this again, to see another All-Stars, or it's not 15 years because it's 15 seasons, 14 years. I thought it was 14. I said 14, and then I changed my mind to 15 because I was doing the math.
It's fine, Taryn.
I waited 14 years to see it. I waited 14 years to see Kaser back again, and I saw him, and I was so excited. And nothing can take that away from me. Just because it didn't pan out the way that I wanted to doesn't mean that like it's not the same show that gave me that joy to begin with. And I was so excited to see these people, and I'm still excited that I saw these people. I'm so excited that I have all of this new stuff to parse through when I'm looking at like these characters and these players and who they are and what they did. And in terms of just like the overarching study that I do of Big Brother, I'm very excited about what I've learned this season in terms of the game structure, in terms of the players, and all of it. So, I get it. I'm just as bored as you guys right now, but when I look at the season as a whole, I'm so happy that it happened.
For me, I have to say, I mean, like, I totally get what you're coming from, where you're coming from for sure. And like, I partially agree with it. Although I mean, for me, at least, like, I do think that the season for me peaked on the first episode, just because I was so excited seeing all these people back. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are these people going to work together? Are they going to work against each other? Like, what's the deal? And I just couldn't wait to get started. And I feel like it's kind of all been downhill from there, where there has been like moments of like, oh, maybe Tyler is going to go against Cody, or maybe this is going to happen. Like, there was a lot of fun to like speculate about possibilities moving forward. It's just unfortunate because none of those possibilities panned out. We just kind of kept marching towards the conclusion instead of like any of the possibilities that could have come. And it was just a little bit, it was lackluster for me, I think, especially at such a promising first episode. Yeah. I mean, yes, okay, we had that stupid ball competition and everyone's upset about it. But like, other than that, like, the first episode was so exciting, seeing the introduction videos and like, seeing what it looks like now. And
I don't disagree.
So thrilling.
Let me just say this. Take the season, reverse it. Reverse it.
If we take the season and reverse
start
it.
at the end at the beginning in terms of your excitement level. And how do you feel? Feel pretty good about the season, right? You're like, oh, it started really boring, but it really started to ramp up, and it was so exciting at the end.
At the end.
Right?
Wow. Okay.
It's the same amount of excitement. It's just a different order.
Yeah, although I'd probably prefer to have like more of like a, peaks and valleys instead of going up or going down.
I agree. I like the peaks and valleys as well.
I want to see I want to be on a low and be like, oh my God, like Dan's never going to get out of this one. He's going home. And then, oh my God, he got the veto used on him. This all happened. And then, oh no, next week, who knows what's going to happen? It's like, I like that sort of thing rather than just like, oh, okay, everything's about the same.
Yeah, that's what I can't stand.
Or even like up to down or down to up. Like,
Melissa, I'm with you. Yeah, like Connor Vassie in the chat has it correct when he said, Terrence said hope, and we said nope. That's how
Sorry,
I feel right now.
Taryn.
Taryn,
Oh,
the
God.
chat also says you're a half glass full kind of guy, and the rest of us are just half glass empty.
That's true.
And
I
have
am
to
like
say-
such a half glass empty kind of
Me
person.
too, Melissa.
So
Cheers.
this all
Yes.
makes sense then.
Yeah, we evaluated my personality in the emotional intelligence podcast.
Did you really?
Yeah. Rob was seriously like, oh, this is why like you're always the guy that's like, oh, I don't care. I still like it.
Okay. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm very glass half empty, pessimist. Totally. Whoops.
All right. Well,
You caught me.
let's talk about what happened this week. We saw that Enzo won the HOH. He nominated Christmas and Nicole in order for Cody to retain his never nominated status. Which I still don't fully understand why. Like in the diary room, he was like, "I'm gonna nominate him, yo," and then he was like, "Nah, yo, can't do it, yo. I need you to be with me, yo." And then Cody wins the veto, which means he is definitely not touching the block this season, and he currently plans to evict Christmas with his vote that he gets from having the veto.
I think that the never nominated thing is a big deal, and I think that he should have nominated Cody for sure.
I disagree. I don't think he should have, because Enzo has to be worried he's going to end up in third place again now that he sees the layout and assuming that Cody's probably the odds-on favorite to win the veto at Final Four. I think just go ahead and let him keep that, because Enzo also has that, so it's kind of a wash. And then go to the end, and he doesn't want to piss off Cody any more than he already did with the HOH competition. I said this last night. Like, I feel like not nominating Cody there and showing him, hey, bro, I want you to have that because I'm with you all the way. Like that, hopefully that can pull Cody back to his side a little bit if Cody wins Final 3 HOH.
I guess, like, for me, I think that a big selling point, and I think that Cody recognizes this because it was a big selling point on Big Brother 16 for Derek, was the fact that he was never nominated. And I think that for Enzo, I guess you're right in that, like, if Enzo believes that he's going to get third place or second place, but not that he's going to win, like it's either third or second, and that's all he has left, then yes, I think like try and figure out a way to get taken to second. Whereas like if he's actually playing to win, I think that that's something he should consider, like, because otherwise that's Cody's biggest argument, and everyone's going to be like, okay, like he's never nominated and he played circles around us,
I don't think that Enzo can accept getting third place again. No money, no nothing. Like, just like not even a seat at the final two, just getting third place again. Well, the other two people get $500,000 and $50,000. Now I know that they all get a little bit of extra money for each place that they move up this season, which is unlike it was in Enzo's original season, but still, like, that's a big pot of money sitting at the end that Enzo is desperate to at least get $50,000. If he ends up in third place again, I don't think he's going to be able to handle it, which is why I think he's doing everything he can just to get to the end, and I don't think he's doing everything he can to win. To your point,
yeah,
and I think part of it too is that like you want to do better than you did last time, and anything less than that is a failure, and so I think that kind of incentivizes you to play less for the win and more for like get above third, because if you have a choice at 5, like, I can make this choice and I'm more likely to win, but I'm also more likely to go at 4, versus a choice that's like, okay, I can make this choice and I'm more likely to make it to second place and beat my previous record, but I'm a little less likely to actually win the thing. I feel like if you got third place before, you're a little more likely to go with the second option. If you made it to second place and you lost by a jury vote, you're a little more likely to go with the first option because you've already hit second place. The only way up from here is first place. So I do feel like that's part of it here. But that does lead us to the question: Is Enzo gonna get third place? Surely, if Nicole wins the HOH, and he probably will, but will Cody cut Enzo, or will he cut Nicole if he wins part 3 of the final 3 HOH? Now, I talked this morning about how Cody has talked to the cameras about saying that, like, hey, I trust Enzo to take me to final 2 more than I trust Nicole. I'm hoping that Enzo wins part 2 He's studying with Enzo. He's trying to coach Enzo up on how to beat Nicole in part 2. That makes me feel like he's more likely to take Enzo, but a lot of people still feel like he might take Nicole, and I think he might take Nicole, but a lot of people are like very sure that he's going to take Nicole, and I think maybe they were influenced by the Wall Yeller. I'm not sure, but I'm really, I still kind of feel like whoever wins part 2, Cody will probably take them, but right now I do feel like he's leaning toward Enzo. Do you disagree, Melissa?
I mean, it's really hard to say. I think that like my thought was that he was going to go for Nicole. But I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I was thinking like, so yeah, if we're basically taking Christmas out of the equation, which I'm assuming we are, like, I think Nicole takes Cody. I think Enzo takes Cody. And I think Cody takes, I think Cody takes Nicole. I kind of feel like I see that. However, that's just honestly, that's kind of just me, my like gut feeling, but I don't really have any evidence to back it up just because like, I don't know.
So Taryn, why do you think that he takes Enzo? Because like I was listening to the episode last night and a lot of people in the chat were pretty convinced that he's going to take Nicole now.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people really feel he's going to take Nicole, but I haven't really seen any real reason for it beyond just like, he just seems more genuine with her. Which like, I kind of get that. I kind of see that. But he was always closer to Enzo all season long. Like he really was. Like all season. At the time of the Wall Yeller, we were like, you didn't even yell the right thing. It's not Cody and Nicole. It's Cody and Enzo. Right. Because it was. Yeah.
So, I also think that there might be an element to Cody where he's like, where I think Cody thinks he can win against either if he gets to the end. And Nicole already has $500,000 and Enzo has never even had a sniff at $50,000. So I think he might want to take Enzo to the end just to make sure that his boy at least gets $50,000. Like, I
see that.
Yeah,
I absolutely see that because I see Cody. Yeah, like I see that being the type of person Cody is to be like, look, like I got to give Enzo like some money or whatever. Like I got to give Enzo a shot. He's never made it to final 2 before, whereas Nicole, you have. I could see him doing that. At the same time, like I could see a situation where like he wants to like reward loyalty, I guess. Like he feels like Nicole has been loyal to him the whole time versus Enzo and has been kind of messing up recently and like not really and kind of playing for himself instead of playing for the two of them. Yeah. And so I could see a situation where he's like, look, like Nicole is stuck with me the entire time. Like from the beginning, we were working together. Like we started out this Big Brother journey on Big Brother 16 together. And now look at us, you know, like I could see that sort of narrative. So I could really see it going either way. Like I don't know, in my gut, I just feel like he would take Nicole, but at the same time, like, I think the argument about like, oh, Enzo's never been, and like, he's, you know, it would give him some money, whereas Nicole already has the money. Like, I could see that.
Yeah, I know that the chat is also talking about the conversation that Cody and Enzo had last night where they were like, you know, Nicole already has her money. We haven't gotten that money yet. But remember, like, Cody's having that conversation with Enzo, so of course he's going to say something like that. Like, what does Cody say in a vacuum? That's what we don't know right now.
Yeah, and just like I remember the way that Cody talked about Nicole throughout a good portion of the season. Like, he was working with her, but like not because he like really likes her. Like he was working with her because he had to, and he was like, I understand that like she requires constant maintenance, like I'm constantly having to do this. She admits to him after Danny leaves that she did come in with Danny. She knew Danny ahead of time. She was friends with Danny ahead of time. That was not something that, you know, she told Cody until after Danny left. And he was like, I kind of figured. And he had to slowly work on turning Nicole against Danny. Enzo was always on his side, except for that one bit with Tyler. He did have to work on Enzo that time. And at the start of the season, he also was like, I mean, I like Enzo, but it's hard to like talk to him like one-on-one sometimes. It's like not fully always like present. I mean, I think that's the mirroring that's happening. But he's like, I don't think he's like super invested in either relationship so much so that he would never go the other way. And the way that's why like the way he's talking about Nicole, last night to the cameras saying like she's sneaky, she's trying to tell me that like she knows she can't beat me but she's still gonna take me anyway. Like I don't believe that.
Right.
Like I just feel like that's not the way you talk about somebody that you are like she's been so loyal to me that I'm gonna take her to the end. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see it because I would love to see Nicole get cut in third. Although, like, ironically, like, I have grown to like Nicole more than on her original 2 seasons. Like, I like her now. I don't think that's gonna make her unblock me, but that's but I still like her now more than I did before, and I respect her game more than I did before. I because like, and this is gonna sound shady, but like, there's no guy for her to hang all over this season. It's just been all Nicole. Like, I guess you could say she hung all over Danny all season, but like that was in a different context. Yeah. So I really like the Nicole that I saw this year. They all are deserving in their own way. It's just that like they've been in control all season long, so that's what makes it tough to take.
Yeah. So like I said, I feel like Cody's leaning toward Nicole to evict Nicole and take Enzo. Melissa feels like it's the other way around, leaning toward taking Nicole. Brent, how do you feel? What's your call?
With Cody taking whoever?
Yeah. Well, who does Cody take?
I think he takes Enzo.
Yes.
Now watch, when Cody takes Nicole, I will have video proof that I was the one person who saw it coming.
And if it doesn't go that way, are you gonna lose everything that you've built to this point?
No, I'll just deny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I asked the audience if Cody has to choose between Enzo and Nicole, who will he choose to keep? And this time, 55% of the audience said Enzo.
Wow, that's close.
Yeah. It's pretty similar to the percentages it was last week as well. But Enzo has gained a little bit here this time.
Yeah, Taryn wants his $100 back.
He's like, would you bet me $100?
Nah, I would. I don't feel that confident about it.
Yeah, no, I don't feel that confident either.
Yeah, Melissa's Denny's. I'm sorry, I love that name so much. She has decreed that Cody's gonna take Nicole. That's the end of it right there. I'm sorry, that name just tickles. Every time I see that name on the leaderboard, it just tickles the hell out of me. Like, whoever thought
Denny's.
of that, bless you. You laugh every freaking time.
Oh my god. Yeah, Brent, you don't have nearly enough fake accounts. Like Taryn's got Daddy Taryn running around and
right, shirtless Taryn, Daddy Taryn. I think there was a mommy Taryn, robot Taryn. Yes. Melissa Bot.
Yeah, I've just got Melissa Bot and Melissa's Denny's.
Yeah, I'm just a character unto myself. That's why people don't
yeah, they're like, we really can't top this.
Yeah,
we can't get any more character than this.
All right. So I also asked the audience, who should Cody evict this week? They said Christmas. 70% of them said Christmas. Actually, 30% of them said Nicole.
Those are just haters. We know. Come on, we know. Those are haters. Those are Brent followers. They're like, evict Nicole. Shoot yourself in the foot, Cody. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. Anything else we need to talk about before we rate these players?
No.
All right.
I'm good.
All right. Let's bring up the Stockwatch here. There it is. Working.
Now, what did these crazy people do with my scores from last week? Let me see.
Oh yeah.
So yes,
it seemed like it would be like around what you would do.
Is anything you would have changed, Brent?
So Phil gave Christmas a 4, and that was on Tuesday when things were a little bit up in the air. Cody a 9, Enzo 7. See, I would probably give Enzo an 8, and I think my. So I don't want to spoil it, but I feel like you guys are being really taken in. Melissa gave Enzo an 8. I feel like you guys are really being taken in by the jury and thinking that Enzo really doesn't have a chance. I think that is misdirection, honey. I think Enzo is a viable threat to win the game if he gets to the end, and y'all are underestimating him. So I would have given him an 8, and I probably would have bumped Nicole up to a 7 because, well, it's okay. So nothing way out of the ordinary, but that's basically where I would have been.
All right. Well, let's talk about this week. We can start with Christmas here. Melissa, how do you feel about Christmas this week?
I mean, I don't think Christmas is doing a bad job or anything, but I just don't think she's going to stay. And I don't really think that she really had a chance anyway, unless she won something. So, you know, I guess it's hard because it's like, I don't really know what my strategy for like rating people that are probably going out the door but are doing fine, whereas like, or it's like I don't know if they're going to stay but they're doing fine as well. So I think because we know she's probably going out the door, but I think that she's trying as best she can and it's kind of like whatever. I guess I gotta give her a 3, I guess, because she's leaving. Normally I'd probably give her a 4 or 5 if there was a chance that she wasn't going to leave, but I just don't see it. So I got to give her a 3.
I mean, like, maybe I'm missing something here, but like, she gets a 1. Like, there's no way she's getting out of this, and she's gone. Like, her stock could not be any lower. I realize that she's not playing terrible, but her position in the game is absolutely bitterly atrocious. Like,
yeah,
there's no coming back from this.
Look, like, but here's the thing: is that like it seemed like she would be in a good spot because Enzo, if he was smart, would want to take Christmas as far as possible.
Yeah, but Enzo is the HOH. That's the problem. Her ally won HOH, which is never good. I just retweeted this from Adam Klein the other day. Actually, today.
No, for sure.
Yeah, like your ally winning HOH is terrible for you at the Final Four because that person no longer has a vote. They can't do anything to help you. It's either you or nothing.
It's just, it's not good for her. It's unfortunate because like, it makes more sense for Enzo to keep her around, and it makes sense for Nicole to keep her around. So
but
like
neither one of them have a vote.
But but neither one of them can do anything about it. So you know, it's just
and really Nicole wouldn't do it. Nicole wouldn't do it, even though she should. Like
in that spot, it actually would have been better for Christmas if Cody had won the HOH, because if she targets Enzo, make sure Enzo doesn't win, or you know that might change his mind about who he's gonna cut at the Final Four. But it's better for her that Enzo doesn't win, that Cody wins over Enzo. Obviously she would win, that's best case scenario, but if Cody wins, then if Enzo wins the veto, he cuts Nicole and she's made it into the final 3. So whereas the way it was set up, unless she won veto, she was dead. Yeah, not great.
Yeah, it really matters about veto. Like that's really what matters is the veto when it comes down to it.
And I will say, like, I don't think that she's like it's not a 1 in the sense that she really screwed herself up here, that she's the reason she's going home this week because she should have done something else. She is trying, and that makes me inclined to give her like a 2. But I don't like the way she's trying. I don't think it's particularly effective. And on top of that, like even if she did stay, I still feel like she can't win. That's the thing. Like she needed to win a competition and she just couldn't. And that's it. Like what jury vote is she going to win? How is she going to win this game? She can't. Even if she did survive this, even if Cody decided, you know what, I'm going to cut Nicole, she still can't win this game. She's still a 1 in my books. So like if things changed and her fate suddenly went from definitely evicted to amazing, she's survived, I'm still like, yeah, but she's not winning. Which means I have to give her a 1. I have to. So there it is. The audience, though, they agreed with Melissa. They gave her a 3.
The voice of the people strikes again.
There you go. All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about Cody. Let's talk about Cody. I'm pretty sure we're ready to talk about Cody. I don't know. Brent has morphed into some letters.
He said he's going to get some Tylenol.
I'm here. I just had to go get some Tylenol. I have a headache, bitch. I typed it in the chat.
Yeah, I saw it in the chat.
Look,
Karen's like, I don't know what the heck happened to Brent.
You think I'm looking at the chat?
I was gone for like 30 seconds. I'm like, go to Melissa. I'm almost back.
Yeah, Taryn, you go first with Cody.
Okay. I'll go first with Cody. I mean, I think this is a pretty easy one, to be honest. He's basically already won this thing. Like, if there's ever a week to give a 10, it is this week, and it is Cody. The 10 battle is out. That I think I've said this on the podcast this week, that I've never seen anybody in a Final Four that I wasn't even this confident in Derek. I was like, I thought there was a chance that Cody would cut Derek.
Nope. Riley, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Riley says,
she brought her purse over. Really, you want the purse?
That's her purse?
It's a toy
oh my gosh,
box.
that's so
it's literally,
funny.
It looks like a little purse. It came with a little iPhone in it.
That's so adorable.
It's very funny. But yeah, Riley. Dennis. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, 1 second.
But so yeah, I mean, it's just this is, it couldn't be more locked in than it is. I guess if Nicole and Enzo were explicitly saying we're taking Cody no matter what, but they're basically saying that it's about as close as we're ever probably gonna get, and even though these jury segments could be misleading, these are just about some of the most obvious jury segments I think we've ever gotten, in terms of just like 2 jury segments, both of which were very pro Cody. The most anti-Cody person there, Kevin, was saying if they don't cut Cody, they deserve to lose. Like Cody deserves this thing. A confessional where he says, "I've completely flipped around on Cody. I think he's playing the best game." I couldn't ask for a more positive outlook for Cody, and so yeah, it's a 10.
Yep, same.
3 10s.
3 10s.
What did the audience do? It's so hard for the audience to average a 10. Were they able to do it? Because last week they averaged a 9, which is a feat unto itself.
The audience gave him a 9. Yeah, they gave him a 9.
Okay. All right.
If he got 10s across the board, that would be very impressive.
10s across the board.
I don't know. I don't know this off the top of my head. Maybe Christina is in the chat and she has this information, but it looks like right now it's an average score of 8.72. So it's actually not even close to a 10.
Wow.
But that might be one of the highest scores that have ever been given by the audience.
That's crazy.
I will say this is one of those situations where if I used the other one.
The what? The other one.
Terrence lost his words.
The median.
There's that other one.
There were 45% of people gave Cody a 10, and only 27% of people gave him a 9. So a pretty big majority of people decided to give Cody a 10. It's just very, very difficult to average out as a 10.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
But that's look, the audience is just not going to get to a 10, which means it's going to take at least 2 10s from the panel to make a 10, and that's the way it is right now.
That's the way it is.
All right, let's talk about Enzo. Brent, how do you feel about Enzo?
Yes, I feel better than I think the rest of you about Enzo. So I've listened to the jury segments. I do think that there is a little bit hide the ball with Enzo. I know that some people have been, dogging his game a little bit, and also specifically saying if they don't cut Cody, they deserve to lose. There's still a chance that Enzo could cut Cody. I don't think it's likely that he will, but overall, I have to feel like he's playing about as well as he can do right now. I think he might have lost the game when he didn't evict Nicole during the triple eviction. I think that was the point in time where it's a little results oriented to look back at it, but that's where I feel like he lost the game, because he kept Nicole in, and even though Nicole was definitely somebody who was on a quote unquote his side, she was really on Cody's side more than anything, and that's why I feel like it's just a really rough spot for him right now. It looks like he's probably going to get to the end, but it's looking dicey from the jury confessionals that he's going to win or not. But I still like his chances. And you know what? I'm sorry. Cody can come off a little bit antiseptic at times, and Enzo has heart, and that's something that Cody does not have. I think that Enzo is in there with a chance. So I'm going to give him an 8.
An 8? Oh,
yes.
boy.
Yes.
All right. I'll give this one. I'll give an alternative perspective for Melissa, and then she can decide. I know she likes that.
Yes, I do.
I gave Enzo a 7 last week. That might have been one of the lowest scores I've given Enzo all season. I am just not as receptive to the idea that he can win this thing. I mean, if I'm trying to look at votes, I think, okay, let's try and say that Kevin, that was a misleading segment for Kevin, that Kevin really is still an Enzo vote, and we were just hearing, whatever from Kevin. It's not impossible. Okay, so he's got Kevin. We heard from Devon that she hasn't seen any gameplay from Enzo. She needs to see more from Enzo. I don't really think there's anything else to show there, but let's say that she wanted more, and she'll find a reason to say she saw more. So she gives Enzo a vote.
He won HOH at Final Four. That's 4 competitions. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. So then let's say that Cody is the one that took Enzo, and that means he cut Nicole. And let's be real, she's still voting for Cody. But let's say she's really bitter about it. Maybe that's a third vote there. He's not getting Danny, but he's not getting Memphis. But let's say that maybe Tyler, I know he was saying like, hey, you need to do something. You can't take Cody. But let's say Tyler just feels more loyalty to Enzo and he wants to go Enzo. Okay, that's 4. He still needs
Christmas.
one more. Christmas, I can see like, okay, she doesn't really want to give it to Cody. She feels very betrayed by Enzo. She's also telling Enzo, don't take Cody. But she had a better relationship with Enzo. Okay, and maybe David as well. David wasn't like the closest, person to. And then maybe that gets the ball rolling, and maybe Ian is there. So like I can kind of see that.
If you squint
result.
your eyes, you can see it.
Yeah. But like every single one of those people is like, okay, if there's not a single person I think is just a given Enzo vote. Like he every single vote is something he'd have to fight for, I think.
It's like the electoral college with all the battleground states. Like, yes, they could vote for Enzo, but they could all go for Cody as well. Like they could all just like go for Cody. Yeah. Whereas like Enzo doesn't have anything in his pocket.
Yeah, like Enzo can maybe get like 5 or 6 votes, or he could lose unanimously.
Yes, I agree.
And on top of that, I think that he's the least likely person to win the final 3 HOH. And that means that his fate rests in Cody's hands, which means that let's even just pretend that let's say Cody has like a 40% chance to win, Nicole has like a 40% chance to win, and Enzo has like a 20% chance. So I think that's relatively fair. Maybe a little
fair.
higher. Maybe like Nicole's like 35, Enzo's like 25 or something like that.
I think that's fair.
Then with Cody's percentage, I think you have to split it in kind of half, maybe a little bit leaning toward Enzo. But like if Cody wins, he could still take Nicole. And on top of that, I think, like I said, I think he's more likely. I think like if Nicole wins part 2, that means that Cody is more likely to take Nicole to the final 2 than he otherwise would have been. And I think she's more likely to win part 2. So like relying on that Cody win is like, it's diminishing returns. And so he has to win himself, and he's the least likely to win. So I think he is not quite as likely to make it there as maybe Nicole, who just has a better chance of just getting there herself. And on top of that, does have a chance for Cody to take her. And so like with all that said, I'm feeling a 5 for Enzo.
Wow.
I mean, I'm giving Cody a 10 because I'm just so sure he's got this thing, and that means that I've got Enzo all the way down to a 5. He's not even guaranteed a spot in the final 2, and even if he gets there, I don't think he's got much of a shot to win. And that's what it is. Now, if Enzo tells me, or the cameras, or somebody, that, hey, I'm going to cut Cody in the final 3, or if he gets Nicole to take him, or even that would be better than, I think, just Cody taking him. then maybe I can do, or maybe we get another jury segment, and in that jury segment, it's like, hey, all of a sudden we love Enzo. Then I'll go, okay, maybe 6, maybe 7 for next time, but for now it's a 5.
Yeah. I mean, I see what Brent is saying about, the fact that he still has a chance to win if he's in the final 2, because, they always try and misdirect us with these jury segments. I feel like there have been so many jury segments where they're like, oh, I'm for sure voting for this person. I'm for sure voting for Paul or whoever. And then it's like, they actually don't vote that person. That person doesn't win. And then they're just like, oh yeah, well, I wasn't going to vote for them. And we're all like totally confused. Sorry, I almost dropped my phone. Anyway, so I get where I totally see that, because we have no idea what's going to happen once the jury goes to vote. Like, I've learned now that I literally can't predict what any of the juries are going to do, because we're always wrong. However, I think what gets to me is I think Enzo is setting himself up to lose. And I think that he's not putting himself in a good position to win. Number one, he's not setting himself up for a good position to even go to the final 2. It's just, I don't feel like he's doing himself any favors. And I also think that once he gets there, he will have trouble, because what really puts it over the edge for me was his goodbye message to Memphis, where he's like, oh, I really wanted you to stay, but the other guys in the house didn't want you to do it. And it's like, okay, that makes you look so weak, and that you have no power in the house, and that you're just going along with whatever everyone else says, just because they tell you to do it. It just doesn't make any sense. Especially if it's someone who is super good for your game to stay in the house. It just doesn't make any sense that you would just cave that easily and then be like, oh man, he should have said look, I'm also working with these people or whatever, and we just had to get you out, you were a good competitor or whatever. Even if that's not the case, you have to make yourself look good in the goodbye message. Memphis is leaving the house being like, wow, Enzo really was not doing anything. He really was doing nothing. And he couldn't even save me, even though we had a final 2 together. It's it just makes him look really bad. So I think that his own strategy behind it is not good. And I also think that it doesn't give me any faith that he's going to have a good final 2 speech. And I know people make up their mind before final 2, but I'm just saying if anyone's thinking that he's going to save himself through jury questioning or final 2, he's probably not. So I don't feel as bad as Taryn does, but I don't feel as good as Brent. So I'm going to give him a 6.
Mm-hmm. And I just thinking about the last 3 people that went to the jury, or however, Danny goes into the jury. We know Danny has zero respect for Enzo's game. We've heard some of what she was saying about Enzo's game. Tyler comes into the jury, and he says, I'm with you. I'm so disappointed he didn't vote out Nicole. I told him you need to cut Cody. If you don't cut Cody, you're going to lose the game. Memphis comes into the jury. Yeah, he's useless. What are you Yeah, he's the most useless player. Mm-hmm. That's so much info from the people who were playing with Enzo.
Yeah, he'll just say we had a final 2 together, and then he said that he couldn't even vote to keep me or save me, and that they just steamrolled him. That just looks so bad. I just feel like there's no reason why he should have said that in the goodbye message. It was just bad.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So that's it, yo. That's it. I had to, because last week I gave him a 7, and it's definitely down from that. And I really do feel like Cody being locked in is just, it's so much worse. And I just again, the things that Enzo's saying, I'm not convinced he's going to have a good argument either. But the audience agreed with Melissa again on this one. They gave Enzo a 6. A 6. All right. Let's talk about Nicole then. We can start with the audience on this one. The audience also gave Nicole a 6.
Really?
Melissa, do you agree with the audience this time?
No, I'm going to keep Nicole at her 8, just because I still think I see Nicole winning. I feel like everyone is walking around me thinking I'm a psycho, but I really I see it. So I absolutely see a situation where she is in the final 2 and she wins it. I think she's in a really good spot. And I think that I guess this is also kind of tainted by the fact that I think Cody will take Nicole to the end. So I'm kind of seeing it from that perspective, and then seeing a situation where Nicole wins. So yeah, I think she's in a good spot. I think she's playing well. I like what she's saying. Also to the cameras and to the diary room and, you know, like her analysis of the house itself and things that are going on. I just think that she's doing really well right now. So I also have faith that in her, that she'll, if it's not a situation where Cody's taking her, I see a situation where she wins and takes herself. So like, I feel like she could do pretty well down the stretch.
Well, this is feeling like deja vu because I also gave Nicole a 5. And it's for very similar reasons.
And now Brent's going to give a 6.
Maybe we'll get there. But like I said, I have such a hard time seeing anybody but Cody win this game. And look, 5 is a neutral rating. This is not like, oh, they're doing such a bad job. Honestly, I thought 5s were generous at this point in the game, considering how locked in Cody seems to be. But yeah, I feel like, you know, she's definitely taking Cody to the end. I mean, it's just abundantly clear at this point. I do think she has a chance to win the final 3 HOH, but I think the act of taking Cody makes it even worse for her. And I don't think that Cody takes Nicole. And then even if she does get to the end, I'm looking at all of these votes that she doesn't seem to have. You know, Ian talking about Nicole, he was like, okay, it was a game move that she took me out, fine. But when he was doing his exit press, he was talking about Cody and Tyler. When he got to the jury house, we got the segment, he was talking, oh, I guess Danny's running the game. Oh, nope. Tyler took Danny out. Oh, nope. Cody took Tyler out. And he's talking about Cody. Kevin is talking about Cody. Danny's talking about how Nicole is not playing a winning game. And did anybody argue with her? No.
They could have cut that off, though. They could have edited that out.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. But, like, I guess from my perspective, like, I don't think they have a lot of reason to make it seem so one-sided. Usually these are misleading, these segments, because they do their best to make it seem like anybody can win. Anybody can win. There's pros over here. There's pros over here. And they're kind of like forced to talk about those pros. And like, I just like, where is anything but pro Cody? Like, I'm just like, why would they intentionally leave out stuff that would make it seem like anybody has a chance to win if it was right there, right? If anything, I think they're cutting it out to make it seem like it's not so obvious that Cody wins, and I'm like really, you know, reading into that. But I look, I could completely be wrong. Like, these segments have been completely, you know, out there before.
Yeah. That's where I'm coming from. Like, I mean, so often, like, this is like, I feel like we do a good job on this show with everything else. But the one part where we always tend to drop the ball is like predicting what the jury's going to do, because juries are just unpredictable. And I am not convinced that if Nicole gets to the final 2, that she can't make an argument like, hey, I won before and you all knew that. And look what happened. I got to the end again. I got to the end. And I understand that you're like, Cody got to the end before and he got to the end again, so that maybe negates her argument a little bit. But the fact that Nicole's a previous winner, how do you deny her the money? Having said that, though, like, that's the argument I would want Nicole to make. I don't know if that's the argument Nicole would actually make. Like, if I could possess Nicole and have her make the argument that I wanted her to make, I'd be like, my name is Nicole Franzel. I came here to kick ass. I kicked ass. Give me the money. But
plus, I think, I do think that I mean, I love that argument, but I do think that is a double-edged sword, because I feel like it could also be used against her to be like, well, she already won. She already has the money. Cody doesn't have the money. He had the second place money.
I feel like she should address that head on and say, look at the game we played. Look at the game we played and tell me that I don't deserve it. Like, that's anyways. So I'm going to give her a 7, because I do feel like she has legs. I do think that there is a chance that she could win the game. I'm with Melissa on this one. I just feel like that the editors are making it look like Cody is the odds-on favorite, when in actuality, like, juries are unpredictable. And, you know, we'll see.
Let me just like defend my 5s here just a little bit more, because I really did put a lot of thought into them, because like, when you say she still has legs, I'm not saying I think there's 0 chance she wins. Like, I just want to be clear that I also think there's a chance that she wins. I was also looking at her jury votes, and I was thinking, okay, maybe she still has Ian, maybe she does get Davon and Kevin and David, and then she picks up Christmas, and maybe that's it. Maybe she's got it. Like, it would have, again, it has to be all of those people. But again, like, a 5 is a neutral spot. Like, I'm incorporating into these ratings the fact that both of these people are planning on taking Cody when cutting Cody is a guaranteed win. Like, that is a huge detriment to their rating. You can't, it's hard for me to put somebody that's actively making that choice and actively cutting their chances to win dramatically at a positive rating. Like, what are you doing? That is not a good place to be. And if they decide to change that up, then I will say, okay, now you're talking positives. But right now it's just like, no, you're neutral. Just because you have a chance to win does not mean you're playing well.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I see that for sure. I think that, like, I don't know. I feel like the issue with the jury segments is that, like, you could easily have a producer go there and say, what do you think about Cody's game? And they say, I think Cody's playing a great game. And then they use that clip.
But I hate him, and I'm never going to vote for him.
Yeah, it's like obviously these people think Cody is playing a good game, but that doesn't mean anything in terms of, like, who they're going to vote for, because at this point, like, that people aren't necessarily voting for who played the best game. I wish they were, but a lot of the times it's like, okay, this person was nice to me, or I worked with this person, or this person was the most loyal, or you know, like random stuff like that. So it's like, I don't think that, like, just seeing a bunch of clips of people saying, like, this person's playing the best game is indicative of, like, anything at this point, just because juries are so unpredictable. And I feel like every year we're shocked by the votes. And then afterwards we're like, wait, I thought you were a sure vote for Cody. What happened? And then afterwards they explain themselves like, yeah, you know, like, I just really felt like I connected more with Enzo, or like, yeah, you know, I just didn't really like that Cody seemed to, like, make a lot of deals and betray people. Like, it just, like, I see this happens every year where it's like these segments end up meaning nothing. So
I agree.
I do get that. I think Big Brother Canada is more misleading. And I do just want to make sure that it is pointed out that I think that in the past few years, I think that we have been decently accurate, not like 1-to-1 predicting jury votes, but like when we watched the, you know, jury segment for Big Brother 17, we're pretty close to being able to predict that Vanessa will beat Liz, and that Steve will beat Liz, and that Vanessa will beat Steve. In 18, I know a lot of people were shocked, but on this podcast we talked about how, oh no, Nicole can beat Paul. Like, this is definitely possible. It might be very close. In Big Brother 19, we talked about Josh can beat Paul. It might be close. In Big Brother 20, we said Casey might beat Cody. It might be very close. In Big Brother 21, we said Nicole has a chance to beat Holly. Cliff can probably beat Holly and Nicole. And Jackson might beat all of them. It might be tough between Jackson and Cliff. And that's basically what it was. So I think we have been able to have decently accurate reads based on these jury segments, and they can be misleading, and juries are very unpredictable, and I talk about that all the time. But I do think that you can get a little bit of it, and I don't want to completely neglect the analysis that we have been able to do in the past. Because, like I said, like I don't think there is a lot of motivation for the editors to say, we just want everyone to think Cody's definitely winning, because that's not how they've operated in the past. They usually do try to incorporate some level of uncertainty, and that's why I'm reading into it the way I am.
That's cool. I guess I'm coming at it from the perspective of, you know, she's been playing a kick-ass game and she's got a chance to win. So how am I going to give her anything lower than a 7? Like, I think you're, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're just evaluating her game a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit like whole cloth, and I'm looking at it more like in pieces. Like, I feel like this week, like, she's done a good job, and, like, you know, but next week, and I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not looking at the win yet. I guess I'm just looking for her positioning, and I feel like we don't know that Cody's going to cut her. That's our assumption at this point. You know, like, she is the odds-on favorite to win Final 2, and as you said, if Cody wins Part 1 and she wins Part 2, he's more likely to take her to the end. Also, he may just take her to the end anyway. So, you know, that's where I'm at.
Here's what I expect.
Yeah.
I expect we're going to get one more jury segment, obviously. We're going to get a roundtable. In that roundtable, we're going to hear she's a previous winner. I can't believe she's made it this far. We're going to hear lots of like, oh, Nicole can win this game. And then, then I'll analyze based on what I'm hearing. But my guess is going to be that then it's going to come in like 7-2 Cody wins if it's against Nicole. Or it could be like serious, like new information. Like, oh, did you know that Nicole was actually doing this? Oh, really? I didn't know that. And then I might go, oh, based on that, maybe they are starting to lean toward Nicole. That's generally how it works. That especially at the roundtable, they really try to make it seem like anybody can win. But the segments before the roundtable often will give you some serious hints. And that's the reason that I was saying, Davon, I think, is a vote for Nicole back in season 18 was because of what I saw from Davon in the jury segments. And then, everything else kind of pointed in the other way. But these jury segments, they can give you useful information. I'm with you guys. I'm often at the forefront of the, like, let's burn these things. They're not worth that much. but that doesn't mean that we can't take what we can try to take from them. So that's where we are. And like I said, I think it's absolutely possible that that they also are able to win. But
how am I doing? I want to know how I'm doing.
Oh, in the Stockwatch.
Yes.
I'm doing terribly, probably. I'm jonesing
to know.
I'm doing bad. I don't even want to know.
Or maybe it's not updated yet, although it should be.
It has been updated. Here we go. We're gonna pull it up.
Fabulous.
On the screen here. In just a second. Here. There it is.
Oh, Scargate's still number one.
Scargate's still in first place, followed by Liv. If we go to Brent, how is Brent doing?
How am I doing? Ooh.
1,104th place.
Yeah, if you weren't watching the show last night, or maybe I don't know if I told you, did I tell them on the show last night? Or maybe I just told you, Taryn, that like when I was gone, like on vacation, like I totally forgot to do this. And I had invested in Enzo right before I left. And thank God he's still in the game, or I could be totally bankrupt right now if I had invested in Memphis or something.
That's what happened to me. I kept my Tyler stuff because I forgot. And so then he got out, and now it's just over for me.
Yeah, I gotta sell that Christmas shares. I have like 4 Christmas shares, but like.
Yeah, I need to really step it up and just change.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it before she goes out of the house.
All right, Melissa.
Maybe I might want to retract that one I gave her.
Yeah, really go on second thought.
Melissa, 846.
Hey, you're back in front.
It's way worse than I was doing before.
Yeah, you fell about 100 places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put my faith in Nicole, but I should have known that the audience will never give her a good score, and neither will Taryn, apparently.
So, yeah, apparently I have become the Nicole
Taryn's
detractor.
the problem.
You're the Russian judge, Taryn.
Taryn, you're the one who's done this to all of us.
I moved up a little bit this week. I did go in on Cody.
Interesting. The 10 out of 10 person is the one you put
I'm
all
sure
your
everybody
stock
bought
in.
Cody.
Most people bought Cody.
Honestly, if you just bought Cody like the first week and just kept it the whole time, like you'd be a billionaire.
Would you have won if you just bought Cody? I'd like
Probably
to know
not,
that.
actually.
Let's actually find that out on the next podcast. If you had
I want to know if you
from
bought
Christina,
Cody
if you'd
on the
bought
first
Cody
week.
and just invested in him totally the entire time, would you have won the Stockwatch? I want to know.
That's what. Yeah.
I feel pretty good about guessing that it is not the case.
Okay. You have questions for us?
We'll see.
I would like to know them.
All right. So I asked the audience to rate the episodes this week. They gave the episodes a 3.5.
I thought they might be a little low. They were reaching for the one
right.
paddle after last night's episode, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week it was a 4.5. They asked them to rate the feeds this week was a 2.6.
Ouch.
Out of 10.
Ouch.
Is that the lowest it's ever been? I feel like that's really low.
Right?
Probably.
It's gonna be kind of low.
Yikes.
Is a 3.3 last week. And then how do you rate the season as a whole so far? A 4.1. So
Interesting.
there you go.
I mean, I don't. I shouldn't say interesting. I think it's interesting when the audience reflects how I'm currently feeling about the show, which is not great.
Well, honestly, I think a 4.1 is actually like not that terrible. In terms of all time here, I did put out a survey for the season ranking podcast that we did. I think we did that after Big Brother 20. I think that was when I did it, and yeah. I had everyone rate the each season of the show out of 10 for that survey, and on that survey, Big Brother 19 was given a 2.5 average rating, season as a whole. Big Brother 9 was a 3.1. Big Brother 1 barely counts, but it was a 2.6. So all of those seasons still pretty far below the Big Brother All-Stars 2 average rating as of right now.
Yeah, not great.
Yes. I don't believe 21 was on that survey. No, it was not.
Okay, yes.
All right. So I also asked you guys to rank the players from your favorite to your least favorite. 4 players left. What's the order, Brent?
4 players left. I think that most people like Enzo, Cody, Christmas, Nicole.
Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm surprised.
Then I asked, who do you plan to vote for America's favorite player?
Really?
Yes.
I wonder who.
Everyone on the list. Everyone is eligible.
Everyone on the planet is voting for Davon Rogers to be America's favorite player. Actually, I shouldn't say everyone. I'm going to guess like 70% are voting for Davon Rogers.
Melissa, what's your guess?
Yeah, I guess I'd probably say like 60% for Davon and 40% for Janelle.
There's probably some Tyler voters though. I'm guessing like 20% for Tyler.
Oh, yeah, that's the spoiler.
let's say 55% for Davon, 25% for Tyler, and then the rest sprinkled about. I don't think anybody's voting for Janelle. I think those people are voting for Davon.
You got a lot closer the second time.
Okay.
39% are voting for Davon.
Okay.
27% are voting for Tyler.
Wow.
12% are voting for Janelle. 6% are voting for Kaser, and everyone else is just completely.
Have they already opened up voting for that, or is this?
Wow.
Is that?
No, I don't think so. Have they? I think the fact that Janelle could end up in the top 3, Nicole will be gnashing her teeth. I guess I'll tune into the finale. Yay.
I really do think the top 3 are going to be Davon, Tyler, and Janelle, like for sure.
They've talked about that on the feeds that they think that Janelle might be in the top 3.
Yeah.
Which it's possible. It's happened a couple times before. I believe Howard was a pre-juror that made top 3, and there was one other person that I don't remember that was also.
Did Davon win?
No.
Did she win it last time?
No.
See, then I want her to win because Tyler and Janelle have won it before.
Yeah, I agree. We all want Davon to win. Davon needs to win.
I wasn't thinking like I was like, I don't really know. I don't really care. I think they're all like fine. I don't have like a horse in this race, but at the same time, like if all of them have won it, if all of them in the in the running have won it except for one, like I want the one who hasn't won it before to win it, just because I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for her.
This is maybe interesting to some people. Last season's fan favorite winner was last place in this poll.
Ooh.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Nicole
Not
Anthony.
Good.
Yeah, you didn't need to say her name, Taryn. We know.
Let's see here. I asked who's more likely to cut Cody. It's basically the same as last week. I think same results. Most people do not believe it's even possible. And between the people where did that question go? There it is. Here we go. Yeah. Over 50% say it's not even going to happen. Who do you want to be evicted this week? 51% say Nicole. They would like for Nicole to be evicted this week. Who do you want to win HOH next week? 43% say Enzo. They would like for Enzo to win. 30% want Nicole to win, and 26% want Cody to win. But who do you want to win the game? 43% say Cody.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same 43% that want Enzo to win HOH. They want Enzo to win HOH, take Cody. Cody wins the game. Enzo, 33% want Enzo to win. 22% want Nicole to win. So it's actually not that spread out or unspread out.
I kind of want to see Cody have to take someone. Like I have to choose. I kind of think that would be something interesting to see.
Well, most people don't want to see it.
Well, because he was the chooser.
Apparently I'm in the minority here. But I would like to see him have to choose.
Because he was the chooser before. That's why it's interesting to me.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't. But his choice doesn't matter, right? Like probably.
Yeah, but at this point we don't know who we would take. Well, at least we are on differing opinions as to who he will take. So it would be interesting to see what actually happens.
I think it is kind of like more poetic if somebody Cody's themselves by taking Cody.
Right. And
that's very true. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So, all right. I asked you guys to predict the jury votes. So rank each player in order of if they are most likely to receive this person's jury vote to least likely to receive this person's jury vote. We start with Ian. Who is Ian most likely to vote for? If somebody is sitting in the final two chairs, who is definitely getting Ian's vote? What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know. Like I had my druthers about what I thought they were gonna do, but now we've got these jury segments, and it's like I don't freaking know. Like Cody, I guess.
I know it's hard.
I don't know. Like
the audience.
It's either Cody or Nicole.
The audience thinks it's Cody. I will say I was inclined to believe that Ian would vote for Cody prior to the jury segments, and then the jury segments happened, and now I feel extra that he will vote for Cody. Nicole would be second most likely for Ian, says the audience, followed by Enzo, and then Christmas down at the bottom. Davon. Who is Davon more likely to vote for?
I think she votes Cody.
The audience agrees. She is most likely to vote for Cody. Second most likely to vote for
Nicole.
Enzo, says the audience.
Think so?
I agree.
Yeah, I kind of see that just because
maybe
she feels like Nicole betrayed her.
Yeah, Nicole betrayed her. She got along with Enzo very well. She had a good relationship with Enzo. In the jury segment, we saw her talking about Enzo, about how she wants to vote for Enzo. So I'm inclined to believe that one, that Enzo would be the second most likely person, followed by Nicole, and then, of course, Christmas. Kevin, who is Kevin most likely to vote for?
Cody,
says the audience.
That's why I'm like, we're really gonna go through all 9 people and be like, Cody.
I mean, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about earlier. Second most likely, Enzo, followed by Nicole, and then Christmas. David, the audience says, most likely to vote for Cody, followed by Enzo, followed by Christmas, followed by Nicole. Christmas actually snuck one up there.
Yay, Christmas!
She gets
Get it, girl.
Yeah. I think this is because she lied about David, and they might feel that he's annoyed about that. I don't think David would.
I don't think
be
so
that
either.
mad about it. Danny, this one's easy. Cody.
Yeah.
Cody. I love Cody. If I'm Danny, I love Cody. He's the best. I love Cody. Yeah.
They think amazing. Followed by Nicole, which I'm inclined to agree. I think she'd go Nicole over Enzo. I do.
I think she would respect Nicole's game over Enzo's game.
I don't know if she'd respect Nicole's game so much, but
well, I think over Enzo's game, I think she would. But I do think that she's more mad at Nicole than she is at Enzo.
I think this is what Danny says when she's putting in the key. If it's Enzo and Nicole up there, you both suck. Neither of you deserve to be sitting in those chairs, but I had to choose one of you.
Yeah.
Followed by Christmas.
Yep.
Tyler, they said Cody, followed by Enzo, followed by Christmas, followed by
Chris.
Nicole, which I am
Yeah.
inclined to agree with. And then Memphis. I disagree with their ranking here. They said Cody first, which I agree with. They said Christmas second.
I think he puts her Enzo second, even though he doesn't care for Enzo. Like, is he really going to vote for Nicole? Like, he's such a guy's guy. Like, I don't think he's voting for Nicole.
I think Nicole is second.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. On the feeds, he was talking about I'd give it to Nicole if she made it to the end. She's a former winner. Are you kidding me? Like, she's great. In his exit press, he said Nicole, she's the best. Love her. He said that to Nicole. I was like, you're a great person. I've loved hanging out with you. He talks about Christmas. He's like, yeah, she's really intense. Don't like that much. And
I mean, I do think it's possible that he likes the idea that the person who got him out on her HOH like wins.
yeah,
I could see that being, you know.
I think it's Cody, Nicole, Christmas, Enzo. The way that he's talked about Enzo, both in the game and out of the game, he's useless. He's done nothing. That's why I wanted to bring him to the final two. I knew he'd be the easiest person to beat.
By the way, I have not read the exit press from last week. I've seen the episodes, but I did not read the exit press. So that might have informed me a little bit.
Well, there you go. Okay, so according to the audience, Cody is currently winning the jury vote by
Infinity to 0.
7-0 margin.
Yikes.
If it's Enzo versus Nicole, the audience thinks that Enzo has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 7 votes against Nicole. If it's Christmas in there somehow, then she gets like, I don't know, like a couple votes against maybe specific
Christmas,
people.
Girl, bye.
Yeah.
So that's how the audience feels. I am inclined to agree. I think that between Enzo and Nicole, it's so hard to predict because the only way that happens is if one of them cuts Cody, and I think it just goes to whoever cuts Cody. So it's almost not even worth talking about.
Impressive
Right.
move.
It's fair.
But I am inclined to agree with the Cody over everyone at this point. Just again based on everything else that we've seen. So
Yep.
that's where we are. That's it. That's what we got.
That's it. It's crazy.
It is. It's been an interesting season. I think that we're gonna learn a lot about ourselves, about life.
I mean, I will say I never would have expected this to be the final four. So, like at the start of the season,
At the start of the season, yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, now, yes, obviously.
Yeah, for Cody to win that first HOH the way he did and like just dominate everybody, and then for nobody to ever even think about getting him out, it's just like, how dumb are you?
Yeah.
Like,
I
Listen, you
hope they all
predicted
hate
the final
themselves.
7, but you couldn't predict this final 4.
Right?
I mean, look, at that point, probably, but I think before that, I could not have. I literally, like, at the start of the game, no way. I would have, no way.
Gosh, you guys, it was so nice at the beginning of the series when like they all came down the stairs and they like and they're like meeting each other for the first time, and it was like, oh my god, this is so great. And then like it all went to shit. What happened? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I'm trying to say, yo. It was good, yo. So that's really it. I think it's gonna be an interesting week and a half here, or no, just about a week, just like a week and a day.
Week and a day. Yep.
A week and a day. 8 days left, guys. 8 days.
That's
One
crazy.
more. You gotta get your purchases in for the Stockwatch. 2 more times. One time this week.
Oh, yeah.
One time next week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then
Next week's a quick turnaround, right? Yeah.
A quick turnaround. Make sure you get those in for Wednesday, the finale on Wednesday. And what we're going to have is we're gonna have badges for the winners, for the victors of the Stockwatch. Badges for first place, second place, third place, top 5, top 10, and then also lesser badges that don't appear on the leaderboard, but they will collect in your profile for the top percentages, top 1, 2, top 1, 5, and I think 10%.
So what do you get if you're in the top 3 of the LFC? Because I can do that.
Top 3 of the LFC gives you nothing, Brent.
Oh man. Well, Brent, we're out. We're
Right.
not getting anything. We don't get a badge.
Top 1 of the LFC gets $100. Actually, it's really weird.
Oh,
From
really?
Melissa.
Yeah.
Try and collect.
It's so odd. It has to come directly from Melissa. It's weird.
Yeah, every year it's Melissa gives the winner of the LFC Stockwatch $100.
Right.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts here, Brent?
No final thoughts. I have enjoyed this season from a standpoint of like the possibilities it could have wrought. However, those possibilities were not to be found. So this is where we are. You can find me at One Lucky Gay. That's one spelled out, ONE on Twitter. And I was look, y'all, if I'm being totally serious, after this episode that we had last night, and then like the week that we've had, the fact that we have created nearly a 2-hour show, sing our praises.
Very impressive.
Night after night as well.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
We're doing a good job, if we do say so ourselves. Yeah, I mean,
I do.
And we do say it, so that's fine. I'm very excited to see the ending of this season. I honestly, I think the finales, like the premieres and the finales, are always so exciting. Like, I mean, no matter who's there, it's a really fun night of television. So I'm very excited to see how it all turns out, and I think it'll be really good. Like at this point, no matter who wins, like everyone who's left has played a good game. I don't think there's anybody left who I think that has just been like dragged along. I think everyone's done a good job. So I think that's great. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it all turns out. And another thing is make sure you get out there and vote. Everybody needs to vote, please. If you have any questions about voting, you can reach out to me. I've been text banking for like the past like 3 weeks, ever since our Saturday women's roundtable podcast and text banking thing. I've just been text banking nonstop. It's super easy. So if anyone wants to join in, that's great. But so now I basically know all about the voting process. So if anyone has any questions or needs help, reach out to me. But definitely vote.
The shirt says so.
Yeah, the shirt says it 3 times, so do it.
3 times, guys. Just like
3
there's 3 A's in Melissa's Twitter handle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's 3 votes.
There you go. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You can, of course, find me on Twitter at ArmstrongTaryn and on Twitch, twitch.tv/TarynArmstrong. I played Among Us with Melissa and Puya and Aman and Liana.
That was very fun.
Many, many great people. We had lots of fun. So you can do that. We will be playing again next weekend. So make sure you follow me there on Twitch, twitch.tv/TarynArmstrong. I'll be back tomorrow morning to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 22 live feeds. Tomorrow night, we'll have a recap of tomorrow night's episode, and then Thursday we'll have a recap, and then Friday we'll have a recap, and then Saturday we'll have a roundtable, and then Sunday you'll watch Among Us, and it's just gonna be great. You're just gonna have so much fun, and you're gonna be like,
all right,
why would I ever not want to have Big Brother on? Because there's so much greatness that comes from it. I'm also working, I've been sort of alluding to this, I've been working on an off-season podcast that is all about like how we got here this season, like these big alliances dominating the game, like why are these things happening? I gave you guys a taste of it when I was on the slop, but I really do feel like there are very obvious factors that have been introduced by the producers of the show into the game, and you know the culture around bitter juries and that stuff that have all contributed toward this, and I've been doing a lot of research on it, and I'm gonna put that podcast together for you guys. Also, next week the final 3 updates will be the recap of the final 3 and their games. So check that out as well. Working on lots of stuff for you guys. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next time.